hippie son motherfuckers.
Mama sucker to me, trying to tell me how to live. Dun 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 dun. But I don't listen to it because my head is like a sieve. Dun 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 dun.
What's up, everybody? Dorian D. Boomasan in the house. Just doing a quick little intro. I got this X space that I jumped into, and man, it was a freaking long one. I'll link to the full thing down below this video and all platforms that I put it on. But this comes from Keith was the host of this at, as you can see, America Only 9. Digital IDs in Texas. Stop using AI. Keith goes on an epic rant. And he invited me onto this thing. I mean, this thing is like so many hours long. So I came in for a section of it. And I gave a little piece of something. But Keith goes on this epic fucking rant. And I said I wanted that. And I went and I grabbed it. So you're going to get that in this. But it's more than that. People are telling you about what's going on here in Texas with these digital IDs. Very important for people to understand. I'm going to talk to Sabrina about it a little bit. And then you're going to get information that's awesome from so many different people. This whole thing went on for hours and hours, obviously more than what I'm going to show here in this video. But it's important to know about this thing in Texas. And then at the end, Sir Escanor kind of chimes in and is going after the Hopium assholes like he normally does. And then I end it right as some asshole comes in. It's like he's trying to act nice to Sir Escanor. But obviously, Sir Escanor ain't having none of it. So like I said, I cut it off at that point, but I'll have the full episode linked down below. Now, if you're on X, you'll have access to it. I'm not sure how it works if you don't have an X account. Not trying to get you to sign up for X if you don't have X. I'm just saying. It comes from this entire space, which was like, I mean, add these together. So many hours long. And lots of really freaking awesome people were in this. So you'll see this on the screen. But this is like how the X spaces, they work. And they get wild. And these guys, they really go at it on here as far as like dropping truth, dropping the kind of information that I think that I'm going to try to bring some more of them onto my platform because this is the kind of information that I think is the most important to talk about. The digital ID is coming in way faster than I even realized it was going to. That's why I share the Synergist. That's why I pointed on Vaxxer 420. That's why I share a lot of Sabrina Wallace's videos. I've been doing a lot of work, even though on the Rumble it's been kind of quiet. I'm populating the YouTube because I don't really trust Rumble. I'm getting Substack and YouTube and some of these caught up to where I'm at here with Rumble. Rumble is still the main platform, still the main space for my lives and all that kind of stuff. But I want to make sure that I spread this around. I have Odyssey prepped if anything happens, because I feel like the attacks are increasing, as I mentioned in this regarding Sabrina Wallace. Now, there's a lot of players involved, and a couple of the players I mentioned are more like not as big of a deal in this as far as I can tell right now, but I've got my eye on them, and I always love going at them. So you'll find that out when I get to talk in this space. But like I said, there's a lot of great stuff in this. I'll link to the full thing down below. And I'm working my ass off populating the YouTube right now and getting that all set up. They're playing nice so far, so we'll see what happens. TikTok just dropped my second account. I appealed it, but I don't really expect them to let me back on. I didn't even do anything this time. It's just information was getting out there. Sabrina's videos were really starting to take off. Some of the ones that I've done with Juxta, and then a couple of my solos and the ones with Biscuits. So they do not want this shit out there on at least some of the platforms. And a lot of these platforms have found ways to make these echo chambers. And so therefore, I'm going to spread it out as much as possible so that it's not all in one space. But you got to check out this rant from Keith. There's a Zany comes in. There's a woman named Zany. I don't think she's necessarily on the screen in the recording because it's just icons. You could basically listen to this thing as an audio and enjoy it as a podcast in audio form. And she goes on a rant that I think is really epic and good. There's a guy Mud in there that is awesome, and I want to bring him on the show. And Ryan Sikorsky joins later. You're not going to catch that in this clip that I'm going to share, but he joins that X Space. I'm going to try to get Ryan, one of the synergists, Ryan Sikorsky, on D-Mind Boomasan here pretty soon. And a lot of things planned. But tomorrow on Tuesday, November 4th, Sabrina will be here. And we'll see what else might be in store for that. So, anyways, be excited and check out this X-Base. I think it's epic. Some of the stuff that's discussed, you get a little bit more information about this Texas digital ID thing. It's crazy they chose Texas to go so hard this way, and then it also includes Google and Apple with the app stores. So be mindful. It's coming, people. We need to be aware of this so we can help push back. And this is the fight. This is the fight that we're in for our kids and for the future generations. God bless you all, and I will catch you. I'll catch you later. But enjoy this X-Base. Peace.
Well, anyway, it is what it is. But it's just been I've been really frustrated for 2 days over this. Getting back to the Texas law, so there is something in that Texas law that says that that particular part can be rescinded. For those of you living in Louisiana, I found this out yesterday. Louisiana and Utah, that bill is already passed in your state. I thought it was coming. It has passed.
Oh
It will
God.
be, I can't remember which is which, but one will take effect in May and one in July. So you guys are cooked as well. And I don't know what other states are looking at. The problem we're having, there are two lawsuits that have been filed. A student organization, Cookie and I are going to look in to see who is behind that, because you never know what you see behind the curtain. But there are two lawsuits that have been filed in the state of Texas against this new law coming into effect. The issue with this new law, and Cookie and I were just texting each other, because yes, her and I have our real phone numbers. Um, let me grab it. Give me 1 second. Let me get to my texting. Because here's the problem.
The problem is too that two states passed more digital ID laws
Yeah.
and nobody fucking
Yeah,
knows.
exactly. So if this is going to go into effect, going to your sheriff isn't going to help. I'm going to just read, Cookie, what you sent me. The problem is the sheriffs can't control or prevent internet requirements. Okay, the only redress is within our state legislature. So private companies own those apps, and so they, if the government tells them to do something, they will comply. And Google and Apple have already said it's going to be very difficult, but they are going to be able to work with it. And you have to remember, just like COVID, and I'm still reading, just like COVID mandates, private companies enforce those mandates too. Remember.
Motherfucker, this
So,
is how they get around the
yes, because
Constitution.
that's exactly how they do it. They, instead of the government doing it, they have private companies do it. So, there were
And
all
the
these
sheriffs can't do
mandates.
anything
They
about
were
that.
these mandates that we all knew were unconstitutional, yet the restaurant down the street, they closed. Or then they reopened and made you wear a mask, except when you were sticking a fork in your mouth. Like, anyway, we all know how bizarre a world that was.
Yeah, COVID went away when you
Yeah,
ate it,
exactly.
realized that you were
Or
eating.
when you sat at the
But what you're
table.
saying is sheriffs can't
So the
do anything about
sheriffs aren't going to be
enforcement
able
or
to do
no enforcement.
anything about enforcing it or not enforcing it, because Google and Apple, two private companies, have already said yes, they're going to do this, right? And they're the ones in charge of doing that. To set it up in the
Dude.
App Store, that you're going to have to put in your ID before you download any apps or upload, download,
Is that
whatever.
what it is? Do you guys know do you know exactly what it is you guys are going to be
So here's
required to
what's good.
do?
Well, from what I understand, starting on January 1st, I don't know. Am I going to have to? I guess I'm going to be locked out of my apps until I upload my digital ID. And I'm going to almost guess it. I don't know if it's to each app individually or if it's to Apple and to Google's App Store. I'm not sure. That's a great
Probably the
question.
same thing almost anyways.
Yeah, so they're so it's really those the Google and Apple that are going to be
Dude.
the ones who enforce it,
This shit's
not the
fucking
government.
crazy.
So they have pushed this over. Great stuff, Cookie. I mean, that's we were talking a minute ago, texting.
And you know what they're going to do too? I'm telling right now, which I've already predicted it. They're bringing us to war with Venezuela. They're going to kick that war off before, I'd say, Thanksgiving. Like I said, right when hurricane season's about to end. They're 100% going to war with Venezuela. Whether they put troops on the ground, I'm not sure yet. They probably will put some, but they're definitely going to bomb the shit out of them. And that's going to take away any fucking knowledge of this and that's one of the reasons they're going to do it.
That's the thing.
Fucking
Am I the only
ridiculous.
one who wakes up every day and feels my head is on a swivel? I picture, those spinning plates, the little magician guy, and he's got the long stick, and the plates are all spinning. That feels like my brain. It's like, look here, Iran. Look here, Gaza. Look here, digital ID. Look here, it's Venezuela. Look over here, it's Russia. Like,
No, you are
I'm
100% correct,
surprised I don't
Amanda.
fall over from just being dizzy.
I wrote it down in my notes recently. You were 100% correct, and I'm glad you brought it up. To a degree, and it just is what it is. Obviously, it does not take away from the Palestinians at all, but this whole thing has been a bit of a psyop. It has been because, again, obviously it's real. I'm not taking away anything. As people know, I fucking advocate for the Palestinians more than anyone. I'm not even trying to say that I do, but I do. And same thing with the Russians and the Ukrainians, both sides. Neither of them deserve to die. But as they've got us over that, that's one of the reasons I think they're showing us fucking genocide in 4K for 2 years, as they've got us rightfully riled up, seeing that every day. Literally, people like, again, Muse, this fucking guy, whatever, fucking Muslims are taking over Texas. Alex Jones' son, who again came in last week and said, I didn't know there was digital ID in Texas already. Everybody's fucking, it's literally, this Trump administration has been so good with the sleight of hand with everything. Well, we're getting rid of DEI, but Pete Hegseth is going to do push-ups, and a bunch of white men are going to go join the military and die.
Well, and that's why a lot of us predicted that Trump was going to get elected, because here's the thing with the Palestinians. Both the Christians, yes, there are Christians that live in Gaza. There are Christians in the Levant, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan. It's where Jesus is from, for God's sake. So of course there's Christians there. And I think most Americans, the dummies, they don't understand that.
And everybody's looking overseas while digital IDs
Well,
are getting
and
implemented.
exactly, but I will say this: God bless those people, because had October 7th not happened, and I hadn't seen what they did to the people, to the Palestinians, I I thought I was awake before October 7th because of COVID. I had no idea how asleep I still was. I had no idea how corrupt and blackmailed and disgusting the American government is. Disgusting, all of them. And I, so these people who, by some figures, if you just take Trump's numbers, 2.3 million people live there in an area 25 miles by 5 miles wide, 25 miles long. That's a pretty small little area. 2.3 million people, many, some of them, the highest ratio of PhDs. These are smart people. They're not camel jockeys, okay? Had it, and Christian hospital, Baptist hospital, the biggest one, Baptist hospital. Churches, the third oldest church in the world, church. Christian church bombed, Catholic church, sniped 2 women, and then they came back and bombed it and killed 4 more.
Amanda,
So
just before I forget real quick, because I want to write down my notes, you said that Utah and Louisiana are the states that already
yes,
passed
yes,
digital
I just
IDs as
can't
well.
remember which date.
No worries.
One of
But
them,
they're
it
already
takes effect.
passed.
Yes, it comes into effect in July, and one in May. But real
Oh, and
quick,
I see my guy D Booma Dorian. If you want to hop up, I sent you a mic. If not, no worries, brother. But if you can, that'd be awesome. I'd love to pick your brain on digital IDs and what we're trying to put together a flyer. But if not, brother, no worries
so
at all.
I'll end on this.
No worries.
All I want to say is God bless the Palestinians for giving up their lives so that the rest of us will wake up. That's how I see it. If there were 2.3 million when we started, and now Trump says there's about 1.5, that is 800,000. We do know that 60% are under the age of 16. That's about 500,000 children that have been killed. So I thank them uh, from my deepest heart. I am grateful that they sacrificed their lives so that people like me could wake up. I've had people in my, I had some Palestinian, groups that I was in before I kind of moved over here. But people reach out and they say, why don't you talk about Palestinians this much anymore? Well, I'll tell you why. Because until we fix this government, the U.S., the one that supplies the weapons to kill the Palestinians, until we fix this government, I swiveled and I turned to talking more about the U.S. government. Because until we fix this, whether it's burn it down and start all over, I have no idea. The Palestinians will continue to die. The Venezuelans, it'll be the same all over the world, including Americans, because they're coming after the
Yep.
Americans next. They're coming after anybody who speaks out. You'll get your little friendly drone knock on your bedroom window, and kapowie, you're gone.
They're testing it
I
out on the
truly believe
Palestinians.
that. So that is why
Yep.
I personally don't talk about the Palestinians as much, because I had to climb higher up the tree and figure out who was doing it and who was behind it. And it is my government. The most dangerous thing, the people who are in the most danger are children in this world, because the biggest exports that America has is weapons and child trafficking. So if you are a child, your biggest enemy anywhere in the world is the United States government, because that seems to be all
Yep.
we're capable of doing. So I will land, but it's a great space. Thank you for letting me rant for a minute, because I really got fucking annoyed.
No, you
Yeah,
should
like,
be.
we gotta hold people accountable.
Exactly.
We have to. Otherwise, it just we spend time being distracted for 2 weeks, not talking about what we're supposed to be talking about. And I can 100% Mud, who will never get honey potted, but because he's got a badass fucking wife. Um, and Maddie Whack, they're never taking 10 cents from anybody who offers them money without doing due diligence to figure out who the fuck is offering me that money. So, anyway, I'll land with that. That's all I want to say. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. And I
Uh-oh. Is that you guys hear me, or is that Keith rubber banding?
I can hear you.
I
Hear
am
you.
back. The space closed for like the 500th time. I did one emoji and
Jeez.
fucking my lovely Elon space closed. But no, you're right, Amanda, and it's righteous anger because people need to be held accountable and people need to. It just can't be whitewashed like that. And again, I've gotten DMs from them. I've gotten DMs from one of the culprits that were telling me about how Jean's no bueno with everybody and nobody likes her, and I got to kick her to the side of the road like someone else has. We all know, or she knows who, but saying, "Oh, well, I don't know why you're doing this with her, and these people don't like her, whatever, blah blah blah," and trying to, in my opinion, I think, in my opinion, there is powers, and I don't give a fuck at this point. I could give a fuck less. We got way much more bigger shit, but the truth needs to be fucking said. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. We got powers that be above certain people, and they know that my spaces and Truth Teller spaces actually tell the fucking truth and don't mince words and aren't censored at all. And also, especially mine now with Maddie and this digital ID thing, and actually trying to find solutions and pushing the Second Amendment and the use that or the right that you have to the Second Amendment, which no other space will do, which is fine, but nobody else wants to do that. I think that there has been people that have been sent to the certain people all of a sudden followed me right when I left JQ Radio that didn't forever to co-opt me or to get my message to be whatever turned in some way. And now that John's here, she's obviously a target. And like I said, I've been told, well, she's no bueno, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So you
Well,
need to
hey
shift her.
Keith, let me
But
tell you,
I could care less about what other people
John
think.
John is another one of my ride or dies. Okay,
Oh, I know.
Her and Cookie, and a newer that was up here a little bit ago. Anybody going after, and if people are going after Jean for telling the truth, or Cookie for telling the truth, oh,
Oh, they
let me.
are.
Then you need to step back and take a look at why and where that. Look, one of those culprits last week sent me a gazillion DMs telling me it wasn't the Jews that was paying him, it was the Catholics. So, whatever, dude.
No, you're
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
so
Good
you're
Lord.
gonna come. I mean, we will
That
stick
same
together,
culprit told me
but
that John's no bueno in
yeah,
circles and that I
yeah,
need to ditch
exactly.
her
I
and
know
she's crazy.
we're talking about the same
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, see, it's the I realize
It's
they're
the
just trying to
Vatican.
isolate me.
Look, I know the
Yeah.
Vatican does very look. It's taken over by Luciferians, and I'm a Catholic. But
Yeah, we
but
admit it.
that's not who
Yeah.
was sending you $3,000. Okay, so shut up. But I want people to know before I drop down. I am watching you. I am watching when you host a space. I
I
am
love it.
watching who your fucking co-hosts are. Okay, I am watching. So you are all on notice. That I, for what it's worth, and it's not worth a whole lot because it's just little me, all 115 pounds of me. but I'm fucking
No,
watching
it's
it.
worth a lot.
I'm watching, and I'm not liking what I am seeing. So anyway, I'm gonna drop back down to my animals are going, feed us, feed us. So, but
No,
stay
thank you.
space.
I love it. That's why my man Observer, who I
Thank you,
just kind of
Amanda.
met after listening to him, and I could tell he was a real deal just from asking questions on Ian's space. It you know who, and rightfully asking questions. And I said, all right, I got to hit this dude up because number one, Escanor likes him, so then he's got to be good shit. And number two, I fucking like people like him. And obviously, AG and different. They're different in ways. AG's a badass motherfucker, but we need people to play certain roles. You need the Maddies who push the envelope and have called a lot of people, including myself and everybody, and jokingly but not jokingly, cucked out faggots that need to fucking take this shit seriously and not circle jerk each other in spaces for the next 2 years and just talk about the fucking enemy and not do anything about it and just it's the George Lincoln Rockwell quote. But you also need badass motherfuckers like Observer who takes his shit very fucking seriously because I've DM'd him and I call him a friend now and who's told me, yeah, I'll be there for you, but
Same here.
but
We're
expect
follow.
the fucking truth, which is which I love. I fucking want the truth. I'm not gonna turn around and do what these other people are doing and try to fucking clear their names and fucking cry baby about something that they did. It is what the fuck it is. And the other one that I talked about before, that with fucking Mr. It's the Zios and his buddy that's got the Game of Thrones fucking picture. She blocked me recently, which is hilarious. But I could give a fuck less because I don't care about fake people that are paid by the UAE that are pushing a message, and that it just is what it is. I'm not in this for that. I'm in this to actually fucking do something. That's why I'm literally like 29 days away from not getting evicted because hopefully as of Tuesday I'll have an apartment, but it should be good to go. But I mean, I'm literally have 29 days to move out of my apartment, and I still want to try to fucking figure out and organize this shit because I'm seeing the threat. I saw all of a sudden digital IDs. Wait, what? In Texas? Wait, what? Not in Australia or whatever. And like I said, not like, oh, digital ID law passed in Texas doesn't go into effect till fucking 2029 or whatever. No, literally in 2 months. So I said, all right, Amanda said she's going to hold us accountable. And because of badass people like Escanor, again, Observer, badass people like Fringe, obviously Jean Mudd, everyone up here in the panel that I respect very much and I'm honored to be friends with, it's like, well, I feel I have an obligation and a duty to do everything I can to try to wake people up to this because as we all know, digital IDs is the fucking the red line in the sand. And these other people want to dick around and fucking run 700 spaces on Charlie Kirk and how he didn't get assassinated and how Candace fucking pushes the wellness company. That's another one. Escanor said, hey, motherfuckers, I'm going to rip you a new asshole if you fucking support people. After I exposed the wellness company being connected to Doug Burgum, Trump's Secretary of Interior, who's connected to fucking Bill Gates, basically, like Escanor said, he might as well be taking money from Bill Gates and Pfizer and getting fucked up the ass by them. And he has the best way of saying things. I love it. I fucking love Escanor. I absolutely love him. And he's a real dude. He's a real deal motherfucker. And he's saying, after these spaces, people are going to are going to have to, like you're saying, Amanda, have to realize who's who and have to make choices and have to do what it is, whatever it is, because he put the
So,
information out
Keith,
there. And whatever people do with it after, real quick, Mother, then I'll let you go. Whatever people do with it after is their own prerogative. But at the end of the day, there's no more excuses and there's no more, oh, just wipe off the hands. But to finish it off, like I said, we need I love people like fucking like Escanor, like AG, like fucking Observer, like people that sit in the shadows and do the fucking work and don't get much credit for it, but sit in the shadows and make sure that everyone's fucking in line and that the real deal people are getting pushed and that the real deal people are actually out there. And I obviously, I whatever. I am fucking real. I know I'm fucking real, but I don't even like to say that. I just want to prove that I'm fucking real. But we need people like that. Those are the fucking unsung heroes that don't get the credit that they deserve, but they still do it at the end of the day. And they literally sit there and actually put their time into it because they care as well. And they're the people that fucking motivate me to do what I do when I sit here and it's 10 at night or whatever, and I'm watching something and say, shit, I should take notes in this. All right, I'll take notes in this because of this person, that person, whatever. And because again, I actually see the threat and I don't need to go sit there. That's why, like I said, I watched fucking Candace's show on Monday for counterintelligence purposes. And then all of a sudden I see her fucking show in the wellness company. I said, this is fucking hilarious. And then I see everybody, oh, the space said, oh, did you see what Candace said? Did you see what Candace said? Oh my God, did you see the 78th rabbi hole that she sent you down? Did you see this? That she declared war and she's pulling on everybody's emotions, so then she get everybody pissed off again and this and that, and everybody in another bubble, and they can balkanize everybody, which is exactly what these techno bros Jews want to do, just like they're doing to Syria and the Middle East, balkanize everything into little factions. And did you see that? No, here comes the space, and you guys are doing God's work, or the 500 space in a row, and I hope they do 500 more while we all get locked down, and some of them live in Texas. But hey, it is what it is. But I have to listen to some of their spaces as well for counterintelligence purposes, because again, the person I've talked about, or I talked to John about, this woman, my friend Sue, who's worked 30 years in the medical field and has asked over 24 people in the medical field, and they said that blood coming out of his motherfucking neck is not real. People would be sprayed in the fucking front row, and if that was a real gunshot to the neck, people would be plugging his hole on the ground. They would not be moving him to the car. And I wish it wasn't true, but it just is what it is. And why did Kash Patel say, see in Valhalla, where people go for witness protection? Why? And then someone said, hey, we're not talking about that on this space. That's not what this space is for. And if anybody comes up and brings that up, then we're going to drop you or whatever. So that's exactly what real detectives do. They rule out that you don't talk about something that could actually be real. But if you come to the conclusion that I've come to through fucking research and stuff, and that's why I'm not talking about that fucking bullshit anymore, because it's obviously a distraction psyop, like John's talked about. $62 billion to Ukraine, Larry Ellison buying everything in the world up that day. His company went up.
Hey, bro.
He made $100 billion.
Aren't you
Went
kind
up
of doing that right
40%.
now?
I don't even know what you're saying. And please don't interrupt me. His company went up 40% and he made $100 billion. And then all of a sudden Antifa pops up out of nowhere. They're gone for years. And Antifa and all this shit pops up, and it's left versus right. Boom, boom, boom. And everyone, Fuentes, all these people, hey, people should lose their jobs, snitching them. This person at Target because they celebrated this bullshit, whatever. But I have come to the conclusion, obviously, that it is fucking fake because of the evidence, because of who's pushing it. And it's obvious it's a distraction psyop, while they literally jammed through digital IDs and nobody even knew about it, and nobody still even knows about it because everyone wants to still talk about fucking Charlie Kirk and oh my God, and Erica Kirk and this and that. But if they came to that conclusion, they wouldn't be able to do spaces and monetize spaces and make money off of it and all this stuff and talk about it for another 20, 50 spaces. Like I said, hey, you know what? Please talk about it for 100 spaces. And the real people will actually be over here trying to fucking solve the world's issues and not sit here and figure out who didn't even kill Charlie. Who was it? It was the Jews. It was Israel. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's who they want you to fucking point at, because the Jews' end time prophecy says, quote unquote, anti-Semitism will be at its highest before their Mashiach Antichrist comes back and wipes out 2/3 of the Goyim. Gee, I wonder why everyone, including Megan the cunt fucking Zionist Kelly, is saying, yeah, it was Israel that did it. That's a little strange. But hey, who cares? They didn't force everybody to gentrify at literally bayonet point fucking decades ago, and they're now not forcing everybody to adopt a digital ID that nobody voted for, nobody consented to, and all these people in MAGA have talked about Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab and the WEF and Larry Fink. They're all the enemy for the years, and Zuckerberg and all these people, and now Trump's having dinner with them and literally sucking their fucking cocks. And Trump had dinner with all those people I just mentioned, and of course 33 tech people he had dinner with, and then giving Albert Bourla $70 billion when all these MAGA people were booing Trump at the rallies and saying the vaccines, what the fuck, it killed my parents, it killed. And there's that's why I fucking fight. That's why I get pissed off like this, because we have people that come on the spaces like last week and talk about how one person came on last week and talked about how they lost, I think, 2 fucking like siblings to the quote unquote vaccine. Literally 2 fucking siblings. They themselves are sick. Like I've talked about, my fucking friend's got tinnitus the rest of his life. The other one, my friend, abort 2 had fucking miscarriages in the first trimester. My other friend, sister, 36 years old, died overnight. So many people have been fucking ravaged by this thing. But Escanor is right again, because it's hope and despair mixed with trauma. And everybody, when shit hits the fan, goes back to the little MAGA blankie and says, well, it's better than Kamala. Kamala would have been worse. It's Sun Tzu, aka, yeah, Sun Tzu. We would have been locked up in gulags by now. If it was Kamala, we would have been, nobody would have anything. Yeah, no, well, if Kamala was pushing digital IDs, and if Kamala was sending us to war in Venezuela, and if Kamala buried the Epstein fucking list, people would actually be doing something. But nope, it's Donald Trump. So hey, we're good to go. Everybody sit back, don't worry. It's literally Bolshevik fucking Russia 2.0. It's the exact same playbook as Operation Trust. It was the White Army then, it's the White Hats now, and they're targeting the strongest people in the country, and they're saying sit back, it's good to go. And you got these fucking traitorous motherfuckers like Benny Johnson and Nick Sorter and all these people I've been calling out for fucking months, and now all of a sudden they're in front of Pam Bondi having a press conference, and they're in front of Trump and saying, oh my God, these leftists, they said something to me. me and they're mean and this and that. The Antifa people, they're allowed to do it. The police are standing down so they can do it because the fucking Soros Jews that fund them are sitting there and saying, hey, police, stand down. So then these Antifa thugs, who again, you can just go to a search bar and type in Antifa Jewish, and it says an attack on Antifa is an attack on Jews, and because they're funded by them, it's the Hegelian dialectic 101, just like bring in the fucking illegals under Biden, 10 to 15 million. Hey, how are we going to get them out? Digital IDs, that's how we're going to get them out, okay? So consent to that. Doge, Palantir. Okay, hey, Elon's based, right? You love Elon, even though he was on Rogan yesterday, like I said, saying that everyone's going to have universal high income, not basic anymore. I guess they changed it, like I said, to high income because that's better. And AI is about to take all of your jobs, especially the people that sit and talk and aren't physical. They're going to go first and all that. It's going to happen within the next couple of years, he said. It is what it is, just saying it on Rogan. But he's based because he says there's two genders and that he says that white people are dying while he literally then launches a fucking grok thing or whatever the fuck it is with like a 14-year-old girl that's dancing on this thing. It's literally basically pedophilia. That's this, whatever this new fucking thing is that he launched on here. It's unbelievable. It's literally pedophilia. And like I've said before, the amount of children and young teenagers and young teenage men, I don't even know what this thing is. This little thing that dances around, literally. It's AI fucking thing that dances around and it's got a fucking mini skirt and it's AI. And the amount of teenagers that are 12 to 15, 14, 15, 16 years old that are unfortunately going to fall in love with this thing. And then when it's literally the movie Her, just in real life. And then when the thing doesn't fall in love with them back or goes away and they're going to kill themselves or go on drugs or whatever. But Elon's based, hey, don't worry. He just wants all of your information, to your social security, your health information, every single thing under the sun. He's based. Don't worry about that. Oh, well, don't worry that 8 out of the 9 people that work for Doge are sleeper cells for Palantir, and he's a backdoor to let them in the back door so that Palantir can have access to all of your information. And then Trump just let him right in the front door. But hey, the Epstein list. No, we lost it. Oh no, oops. Who's Epstein? Didn't even exist. But it's better than Kamala. Either way, that's why I fucking do these, and that's why I go on these rants, because I'm pissed off, and because people need to wake the fuck up to who Donald Trump is. He's not even fucking. It's not even close. The motherfucker is the enemy. He has killed 700,000 Americans. He has betrayed us in every fucking way, and people still want to fall back and say, "Oh well, it's not that bad," and give him a couple more months. Sun Tzu said, if by next July he doesn't arrest anyone, blah blah blah. He hasn't done fucking shit. He's not gonna do shit. It's a humiliation ritual. He's shoving it down your throat and saying, "How much shit will you guys take?" I ran on fucking Epstein for 10 years. Literally, and I don't know if anyone has a thing to play. Like, Victor's not here, like I said, but I wanted to play something so people can understand the magnitude of what's happened to millions of children that have been fucking raped by these fucking pedophiles that Trump just jumped on the grenade for and said, "Yep, nope, it's all good," and he's about to fucking shove it down their throat even more. And pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, but you still, like, literally, and I thought about it the other day, I really did, and then I will shut up because it is aggravating. I did think about it the other day. I said, these fucking people, whether it's Clinton Russell, whatever his name is, who seems to be an all right guy, whatever, Jack Posobiec, obviously Navy Intel, all these influencers, but even people mid-level or whatever, somehow, like, literally, this motherfucker Trump has funded a genocide in Palestine for 10 months, and that guy Dimitri, the French guy, Jean's fucking buddy, literally made that awesome video, a minute and a half, talking about how they're celebrating it when Trump just went to Israel and said, Bibi would call me up and ask for bombs that I didn't even know we had, and he used them in a great way. He's used it, and hey, President, you need to pardon him because you guys are unfairly going after him, and he's one of the best wartime presidents ever. Pardon him. And Bibi's sitting there thanking him. And Miriam, she's not going to like this, but she's worth $40 billion. And I asked her, "Are you pro-Israel or are you pro-American?" She wouldn't answer. That probably means pro-Israel. So the money you're fucking taking from $200 million, because you took $100 million from her dead fucking husband, who says that he wished that he was fought in the IDF instead of the American military, and you took $100 million from this fucking bitch. You just admitted that she's more pro-Israel than pro-America, and you took $200 million as you're sitting there celebrating a quote-unquote peace deal after you've just murdered hundreds of thousands of fucking people the last 9 months and 10 months. But, oh, no, it's a peace deal now. It's over with. We're good. Everything's under control. Never mind the vaccines. Again, 700,000 Americans, 20 to 25 million people worldwide, over 1 billion fucking poisoned from this thing. Never mind, again, burying Epstein, Project Stargate, building AI data centers. Even 7Cs has said he's like, I didn't even think that it was going to go this fast. Like, I honestly didn't think they were going to implement it this fast. Giving Palantir more contracts than anyone's ever got, implementing obviously Larry Ellison and Oracle. Albert Bourla and fucking Bill Gates, MAGA's number one and QAnon's number one enemy. That alone enough should be enough for people to say, what the fuck? I am not supporting this motherfucker, and I should be going on rants like I am right now, calling him out because he's a treasonous fucking piece of shit scumbag who deserves to be tried for treason and then given the full penalty for treason. We all know what that fucking is, and not ain't in Minecraft, but he deserves it because it is what it is. He fucking rug pulled all of America, and he's about to lead us into a digital enslavement that everybody's blindly walking into because they have just enough bread and circuses left where people can still bet, people can still go and gamble and drink their booze, and hey, it's not going to get that bad. I can outweigh tyranny. I got 200,000 in the bank, and I got a house, and I got some kids. You're a conspiracy theorist, bro. Keith, come on, man. What are you talking about? You know, hey, hey, remember fucking 3 fucking years ago when you had to go to a honeymoon in Cancun, or one of my friends had to go to Croatia, and you just got quote unquote COVID, even though the PCR tests were rigged anyways. So the whole thing was fucking bullshit from the beginning. But that's another topic for another day. But you had to go, you literally just got quote unquote COVID, and then you had to go to a fucking honeymoon in or whatever the fuck in Croatia, and then you got vaccinated, and now you're injured from it. But nope, we all forgot about that. All of a sudden, selective amnesia. Yep, Trump's our guy. But my point being is people need to understand that there is no more, there is no nothing. No. Oh, well, a couple more months. No, he could turn around this and that. No, he is the enemy. He is an evil fucking human being that has sat there. You think that he doesn't know that the Palestinians have been getting fucking bombed? He lifted the 2,000-pound bomb restriction that Biden had on so that they could, like Bezalel Smotrich said, number one, international law doesn't apply to Jews, he said. And number two, he said 2 weeks ago, oh, we just finished the demolition phase in Palestine. That was the hardest phase, as he had the Torah in his hand. I mean, the Talmud in his hand. And that was the hardest phase. Now we have to rebuild it. And Kushner and Trump and all these people are making billions of dollars off the Palestinians' backs after they fucking supplied the bombs to kill all of them. And these motherfuckers still want to turn around in spaces and say, oh, well, if we can just turn one seat red in Texas and get one more seat on the Democrats, and we can't let the Democrats win. Oh my God, if we can make sure we turn that seat red, we got to get out and vote. Hey, everybody, follow Scott Pressler, that gay fucking faggot who works for the State Department, whose parents work for the State Department, who literally is contracted by the State Department, is literally a gay actor on the website. People can go to my fucking search bar and say, is this you, bro? But he blocked me after I called him out a couple weeks ago, who promotes homosexuality on the right and puts out videos and fucking pictures all the time saying, if you're not okay with this and him and his faggot boyfriend in bed, then you're not MAGA, trying to obviously push the fucking window to get people to accept it. And Amanda's spot on. Then I will shut up. Amanda's spot on. 20 years ago, it used to be, hey, you cheated on your wife, all right? And that used to be blackmail, or that used to be something you could get in trouble or lose your job or lose, your whatever for that. But now that doesn't matter. Oh, you cheated on your wife, like Amanda said. Oh, fuck, who cares? I'll still vote for you because it's better than the Democrats. Hey, what have the Republicans done with the 3 branches of government the last 2 years? 14% tax cut for the rich. They're shutting off fucking food stamps right now, so then everybody can go kill each other because they want to pit black and white against each other. Because hey, but all the people in MAGA, oh, it's based, these stupid black people, blah blah blah, they don't have jobs. Yeah, well, you know what? Some of them abuse it, but you know what? I don't want children to be starving at the end of the day, and it's $8 billion or whatever it is, and I'd rather children have food in their stomach, even if some people abuse it. I don't care. And where's that same fucking energy when Trump and Scott Bessent, that another faggot, who's literally Trump's Treasury Secretary, who, like I've said 100 times, I'll say it a million times more, worked for Soros, still works for Soros. He helped Soros crash the pound in 1992. He was the one that just gave Argentina $40 billion fucking dollars to bail out their farmers. But our farmers are fucked. I think the stat's insane. I think it's like 52 farmers every day go out of business. That's fantastic. They're literally Bolshevik Russianing us with QAnon in the fucking Operation Trust, and they are tearing everything apart from the inside and creating famine conditions. And eventually they're going to do exactly what they did, if they get their way, to Bolshevik Russia and starve 60 million to 70 million of us to fucking death because they fucking hate us at the end of the day. The top of the line ones, no, it's not everyone, but the top of the line ones hate us with the fucking contempt, just like they hate Jesus Christ because they can hold a grudge like anyone because they're fucking second temple and all their bullshit, blah, 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 and all that shit. And this is what's going on. If people can't get it through their head that Donald Trump is not even close to an ally, that he is your enemy, and no, it is not better than Kamala, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day. They both serve the same masters. And now you got J.D. Vance. People are already puppeteering around because why do you think Erica Kirk said, oh, he has some similarities. Nobody can replace Charlie, but J.D. Vance is close. Yeah, because she's fucking trying to warm people up to vote for him. And you got people like fucking Fuentes again. So I'm long done with that motherfucker. But you got people like Fuentes the other day saying, well, J.D. Vance, if he can be anti-Israel and staunchly anti-Israel, then maybe he has a chance. So Fuentes' role, obviously, is to keep people, to call out the Republicans, call the two-party system, call out the Jews, just enough, but not fully call the two-party system like us and say, do not consent. Do not give it your vote. Do not vote no matter what. It does not matter. It actually does matter when you do not consent to the system. They need your consent to the system. But he wants to sit there and say, well, if he can be anti-Israel, then maybe he'll have a chance and maybe the Groypers will go out and do stuff for him. What? You've called this motherfucker out. Anyone that takes $15 million from Peter Thiel, who injects fucking children's blood into himself through ambrosia to stay young, yeah, I'd say he's the enemy. I don't care if he's fucking anti-Israel and fakes to be anti-Israel. But that's Fuentes' role, is to keep the Groypers in their little cult, keep them together. So just like when the fake assassination with Charlie happens, they all go out and get and dox people like Hitler came on here, and me and John ripped him a new one. And he said, well, my brother made me do it. Bro, you literally just put a random girl's fucking dox out here and got her fired from her job because she said something about Charlie Kirk. She didn't even make a fucking video. She said something. And you guys are going around doxing people and manufacturing consent for a social credit score. What's going to happen after the digital ID is implemented? Social credit score. How's that work? Oh, my neighbor had 7 people over instead of 6. Shit. I can't get food this month. I'm at 80 fucking social credit score points. If I snitch my neighbors, I go to 100.
Geofencing, you drove too far. But Keith, you never failed to impress. That was like a 20-minute rant of truth. But I want to touch
I'm
on
done.
one
Thank
thing.
you.
It was
But
a while ago. I could, please.
Fuck all these fake motherfuckers.
Keep an eye on El Salvador and Jamaica. Okay, they are both implementing smart cities. They're digitizing everything. And guess what family owns Tether, who just moved their headquarters to El Salvador while they're accepting cryptocurrency for everything in El Salvador? Gee, what is that turning into? Like with candy, right?
Testing
They're
grounds.
making it look so sweet in El Salvador, like the best place you could ever be, ever go. But guess what? No cash, crypto. And
Yep.
you know who owns the Tether Fed? The Borgia family. Look that up. These people are
And
beyond
what did
evil,
Larry Fink say yesterday,
right?
Mud? We're going to
So
turn everything into
tokenize
tokenized
everything.
assets.
Yes,
Correct.
and you know what? And
To-
who's tied into those 13? It's not just the Borgias. There's 13 other families like the Solas and
yep.
a bunch of other ones. And
Yep.
guess who was
Absolutely.
funneling
Oh,
money
nice. When
back
I
and
was on my
forth
rant,
for the
Escanor's down there. Escanor, I sent you a mic if you want to come up, brother.
Hey, Keith.
and guess who
Yeah, what's
was
up, Cookie? I know you're busy. What's up?
hold on, let me finish my sentence. Guess who was basically funneling the kill teams through Panama.
Eric Prince?
No,
That good guy?
that would be Mitt Romney.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the Mormons had a lot to do with Iran Contra. I mean, as well as other groups. But yeah, it's and it doesn't seem like much has changed. I mean, El Salvador is an old money oligarchy modernizing into digital technocracy. There was a little bit of shuffling around, but that's basically where they're at. And yeah, it's completely
Well,
biometric.
What's up,
Israel,
Cookie?
CIA,
I think
all the rest.
Cookie's got to
the
go
reason,
real quick.
the reason I wanted to bring up that because the crypto and the blockchain and the tokenization and digital ID are all connected. Okay. All of
yeah,
them.
they are.
So yeah,
Cookie, do you got to go? 'Cause
Absolutely.
You're busy.
I wanted to try to play my Texas card and piggyback off what Amanda said. Just really, I promise to be quick. Um, for those that don't know, it's SB 2420 in Texas. There was one guy that voted against it. His name is Brian Harrison. He is basically the one that has made people aware on X of this bill. He announced on the 24th of October um, a legislation to repeal SB 2420. And so he's really the only one that is creating awareness and fighting against this as far as our Texas legislature. And so I think, Maddie's solutions for redress are awesome. But Amanda, thank you, Amanda, for bringing up our text thread about how, sheriffs cannot
The sheriffs, yeah,
control
that's
Google
crazy.
and Apple. They can't do it. But this has to go through at the state level. He is calling for a special session to address this amongst a couple other issues. This Brian Harrison guy, he's down near Austin, or he's in the Austin
Do you
area.
know when the special
No, well,
session
no, I
is
don't.
yet?
He's just calling for it, and that's so. What I wanted to say, as kind of a call to action, is when people, whether they live in Texas or not, call the Texas legislature, not the our federal representatives, because they're the ones. The state is the one that voted this in, not our um, Washington representatives. But anyway, when you
So call
call
the Texas legislature.
the Texas legislature,
Yeah,
yes, and this one guy, Brian Harrison, he is a Republican. He's 42 years old. He's the only one. But when you call,
Chip Roy and all those
make
faggots voted for
sure
it.
make sure that you say you need to partner with Brian Harrison to call a special emergency session before the end of the year to eradicate this clause in the bill that was passed and take it out. And the wording I think that works best in Texas is freedom. The word freedom, the word that the phraseology of this is going to eviscerate and literally demolish our Bill of Rights. You might as well rip it up and throw it on a Texas bonfire if this is allowed to be implemented, because it's a digital thing. It's not something that we can wrangle, with a lasso. So that's what I wanted to say. I think our messaging is really important. It's important for
Do you have a
legislators.
number for him yet, or no, not yet?
I have that somewhere.
Okay.
Amanda and I will find that
We
and we
can
will
keep
post
brainstorming
it.
today in Godfrey Space
But
Tuesday night. We'll hammer
that's the
down a flyer
problem
and
is,
stuff.
guys, and these government shills, these traitors, they need to understand, like you've said before, Keith, that what we're dealing with is a private technocracy. This is the new model under which we are to be ruled under the boot, right? It's not, and let me assure them and everyone in here, technocrats hate politicians. They're next on the chopping block. We're getting ready to transition into a private, corporately run technocracy, and they don't need governments. So if the
Continuity of
government is
government.
working, the
Yep.
public-private partnership, which is what this is, the government of Texas
Stakeholder
passing this
capitalism.
and saying, "Hey, Google and Apple, you're going to implement this." That's called a public-private partnership. That's part of Agenda 21. It's been it's been signed up for signatory since 1993. But the thing, I don't think that governments and government officials understand that they will be phased out at some point, as quickly as they can.
Yeah, they're retarded. They're just like,
They
oh,
are
they don't
retarded
see AI
and they don't
coming. Oh, who cares
understand.
about
So
AI?
use the words freedom and Bill of Rights and unconstitutional. Those are our best bets in Texas. We can't use words like in Texas, you can't use words like awakening, because we are in the Judeo-Christian Zog Central, where people are they're all they want to talk about is my constitution, so you have to meet them where they're at, and if they understand they're going to lose the Bill of Rights on the whole, that should wake them up a little bit, hopefully. So that's what I wanted to say. I understand what Zanny said, and I love her, and I totally agree with her, but you can't use the word awakening with Texas people, because they don't even think about that word. I mean, that's not like part of their vocabulary. So
Okay.
No,
that's
one
what I
hundred
wanted to
percent.
say.
She was saying don't let
Yeah,
in
I hear
general. I
that.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's
but
true. But
but
Here's
thank
the
you,
anyway,
thing that
Cookie.
I'm
but
still
when we
confused
have
by.
to,
I
the
want to
only,
just
let me
respond to
just,
that for one sec.
yeah,
Go
just
ahead.
let me finish up and say we have to do this at a state level, guys. It has to be, we have to have a special session. Unfortunately, that's what we have to do. And if we can't get that, then I don't know what the other redresses are. So. Thanks,
this
Keith. Thanks for
special
coming in.
session. I like it, and then hopefully there'll be a date, and then we can get the flyers hopefully finalized on Godfrey's space on Tuesday. And I see my man Dorian jumped up. I want to pick his brain real quick for a second on this stuff because he's extremely intelligent on here. What we need is basically fucking Sabrina Wallace to be on X, and we need her brain, and that would solve a lot of things. And we need people like her with her attitude and her I don't know how to put it, but
She has been trying to
she has a
warn
way.
people for
Yep.
years about this. Everyone should follow Debuma-san and Vaxxer 420 and Sabrina Wallace. And I got to remember her handle. I know Boomasan will know it, but yeah. I mean, when
Hey, listen, you
Fringe
guys, I
first,
gotta go because I'm going to work. I just want to say thank you to
Yep.
everybody and goodbye. And I want to make one final brief comment because I really do have to go, and I don't want to go. I want to stay for the conversation, but I have to. The thing that I really am still waiting for, okay, because the digitalized system is the Freemasonic degree system externalized.
I got you,
That's what they're
Escanor. 1
doing.
second.
Okay, that's what they're doing. Okay, so the problem is that that entire system is rewarded for transgression against the people, against themselves, against women, against children. Okay, that whole system is the social credit system of Freemasonry rewards transgression. That's how you move up through the degrees. Okay, so until somebody asks Sun Tzu, a drunk Sun Tzu, what degree are you, brother? Okay, and then he'll say, I don't know what you're talking about, and then he'll look like a total ass, right? And then you say, oh yes, you do know what we're talking about. I want to know what degree you are. I want to know who your handler is. And if you're going to sit here and tell us that you're not part of this order of transgression, then I want you to take an oath to that effect, and I want you to publicly denounce it. Okay, and that's what we have to do with our politicians. I'm
Love
still
it.
waiting for one man in this country that is not fucking sold his soul to Freemasonry to stand up in a public forum and say, what degree are you? What did you have to do to get to 14th degree? That's why they go right back into the system, is because when they cheat on their wives, they move from the 6th degree to the 7th. Okay, our
Right after
sheriff's
Trump
department in
fucks them
my
in their
county,
ass.
listen, I'm almost done. Our sheriff's department in my county has a house that they privately own where they trade wives.
Oh,
Okay?
really?
That's how bad this is, people. You have to stand up to the externalization of the Freemasonic order system. That's the social credit system. They like transgressors. And we sit here and go, geez, how could we let them not be held accountable? But we will never speak to it. That's real cowardice. Why are men so afraid to say to other men that obviously have the mark of this, what degree are you? And if you lie to my face and tell me you're not part of it, then I want you to publicly denounce it, vehemently denounce it, and swear an oath that you are not part of it and will never be a part of it. And that is what we must do. I'm sorry, but we're so far gone in
No,
this,
you were 100%
people.
correct.
I love you. I gotta go. That's
I
it. Thank
appreciate
you.
the passion.
Bye-bye for now.
You were very welcome. I
No,
love it.
that is it.
Yes,
Okay?
you were correct.
That's it. That's why they can go, oh yeah, I'll take $1,500, $3,000 and then not apologize, is because the whole system rewards the lying. Thank you.
Yep, you are very welcome, my friend, and you are 100% correct. Because that's why Ian did a good job. I saw at one point he just transitioned to just basically, instead of asking people this and that, he just said, "Do you take money from this place, this and that?" And then the one guy, Mike Mack, was like, "Yes." It's like, hey, I'll appreciate the honesty. Honestly, didn't mean to like rhyme there, but I'll take the honesty any day of the week.
absolute
But I love it. Thank you,
fire.
Zanny.
I had to
Love it.
say that, man. You just raised my level of enthusiasm like 1,000 points. That was fire.
Fuck yeah.
She is spot on. That was a rally cry from a heroine. And thank you for
Yeah, hell yeah, Zany. That was awesome. That
Thank
was
you. Yeah,
all
thank
great.
you, Zanny. And
Keith.
come
I
back up
gotta
whenever.
recycle. I gotta
All right, sounds
recycle
good. I'll
everybody's
reach out to
rubber
you.
band.
Yeah,
With that, since
my whole app crashed, by the way.
yeah, mine's crashed a bunch. So we'll get to these hands. I want to I want to just tap in with my man Dorian because I asked him to come up real quick. And then if Ian or Eskin wants to jump in, then we'll get right to everyone right away. I'm done with all my rants. I promise. And then um, so Dorian, what's up, brother? I don't know if we've been listening for a little bit. What are your thoughts on this digital ID in Texas and stuff? And like I said, we're trying to put together a flyer, and I don't know if you have any thoughts on what you think should be on it or something. And thanks for coming up, brother.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? I don't know too much. I've seen you guys. I think I've seen a couple of these spaces with the digital ID in Texas, and I can't believe how fast that's coming through. So I've just been kind of listening on that. I want your rant that you just went on recording, and I want you to allow me to put it on my fucking platforms because that was epic. That was
Please
sick.
do, please do. I've
So
been fucking looking for someone to record. So, oh, please, yes.
yes, because we got to get this. I mean, X is great. There's a lot of people that aren't on X though, and that's where I like spreading it around on all the platforms that I can. I'd love to get that. So, did
Yeah.
something happen with that JQ radio or whatever? Did you guys have a falling out, or what's going on with that?
They just kind of closed shop, to be honest. So it kind of just is what it is. It kind of just went by the wayside, to be honest. I think Truth Teller Space has kind of shifted the paradigm of things. So, but it's worked out for me, to be honest. So it's all good. But because I like being able to
Crazy.
run my own spaces and stuff and all that, and not have to not censor myself because you didn't censor yourself there, but I can say shit like when Maddie's up here and when Maddie's saying stuff like that we need to use our Second Amendment in certain ways. I thought Maddie just came up. I don't know where he went, but yeah, please take that and do whatever you want with it. I would be honored, especially by you, because I really respect your work, like Mud said, and all that you've done and everything.
Yeah, I'd like to have some of you guys on the podcast and just
Oh, I'm
rant and talk
so
about
down.
all this shit in depth because what you just nailed there in that rant is exactly what I say, in long form when I do my podcasting and stuff. I have a lot of other people on now, so it's not just me talking, but what you just said there is like the discussion that I want to be having. You brought up like the wellness company and some of these guys, and I saw Escanor put out a thing connecting some of this stuff, and also the wellness company is connected to Eric Prince, goes through Diego Lopez, so it's not just Gates.
Yeah,
It's
David Lopez.
it's fucking
Yeah.
crazy how connected and how they've hoodwinked a lot of the alternative media, especially the conservatives that think they're fighting back against pharma. Pharma has its fucking grips on them too, and they don't even know it. It's fucking ridiculous. But people just need to be aware of that. But the trace, track, and targeting has been going on for years. They're just perfecting it, especially with these wars that are going on. The stuff that's going on in Gaza, the stuff that's going on between Ukraine and Russia for years now. I swear they're just perfecting their drones, they're perfecting their surveillance, their tracing and their tracking, and how quickly they can get to a human being, anybody they want to get, even a random. I think that's kind of what's going on. As far as this digital ID, I was listening to someone else talking about how the new year might be bringing in digital ID just to connect into our app stores. So I
Yep,
mean,
in
what
Texas.
the
Yep,
fuck?
yep,
So just
yep.
if you live in Texas, the app store is gonna fucking stop you
So I'm
from.
gonna throw it up in the nest right now. Yeah, that's why I'm throwing up. That's why as soon as I saw this like 2 weeks ago, I shifted all my spaces to just this. Like I usually do geopolitics and talk about other stuff, and people can fucking talk about Charlie Kirk's fake assassination till they're blue in the face. That's their own prerogative. But we all know the digital ID is the red line in the sand that cannot be crossed. And I threw in the front of the nest. So, and I said it even before that I saw this a couple of weeks ago, like because it obviously has been in Australia, and by the end of the month, the Australians that are on here listening right now aren't going to be able to be on here because they have to scan their faces and all this stuff. It's in Sweden, in Switzerland, the UK. I think the digital euro is being rolled out. I've talked about Trump, how he weaponized the tariffs on July 1st. He tried to get the Vietnamese government to implement a digital ID, but their government said no. So he slapped them with, I think, 100% tariff. By July 5th, their government said yes. And now 86 million people don't have bank accounts in Vietnam because they won't accept a digital ID. So I'll read it off real quick. It's in the front of the nest. So And again, this came out of nowhere. I had Alex Jones' son pop in last week because I've talked to him from time to time, and he popped in here and because he saw the title, he's like, "Wait, there's a digital ID in Texas?" So like people don't know. So disturbing. Texas has just opened up the gates to digital tyranny. SB 2420, dystopian UK-style online ID law will soon force Texans to verify their age to access even the most basic online services, marking the first step towards a nationwide digital ID system. And like Amanda just said, she just broke the news. Louisiana and Utah have already voted, and she said, I think May and July it's going implementing there. And again, already voted. Nobody consented. Nobody said anything. So this set to take January 1st, 2026. The law hides behind, quote, protecting children online as they bury the Epstein list.
Yeah,
That's a good
add
one.
Jamaica also to that list. No sooner the rubble hasn't even been cleared from the hurricane in Jamaica.
They already got smart
Their
cities.
administration there, whether their fake government announced that they're going to rebuild it a digital smart city and digital ID. Imagine that.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Set to take January 1st, 2026. And that's the thing I've been saying, Dorian, that's been like freaking me out. Usually these things like pass, and like I've said a lot recently, I'll be like, this bill passed SB 2420, not, it'll take place January 1st, 2029 or 2031, but it's like 2 months. So the law hides behind, quote, protecting children online. Again, that's hilarious, coming from the Trump administration after burying Epstein list. But experts warn it's just another Trojan horse for surveillance and mass data collection. You don't say. Both Apple, and this is the scary and bad part, both Apple and Google admit it will require users to surrender personal details just to check the weather or to download an app. It's the same playbook they're using in the UK and Australia, where, quote, age assurance laws quietly morphed into full-blown digital ID systems controlling access to search engines in everyday online life. Louisiana and Utah are already following the same path and the same pretext. When asked, they asked Doc Pete Chambers about it, but he's, of course, I would more really, whatever is against it, but I don't know. If Texans don't act fast, every click, search, and download could be soon tracked, tagged, and tied to your ID. Time to push back is now before it's too late. So that's why as soon as I saw this, I shifted all my attention and spaces to this because it's obviously the number one threat. Nobody really even knows about it, which is so insane. And we all know, anyone with the brain in here that studied Gen 2030, WEF, all this lovely Bilderberg group stuff, that digital ID is the red line in the sand that you cannot come back from. And I think they're starting in Texas because they know if they can get in Texas, they can basically get it anywhere. So yeah, that's where it's at, and it just kind of popped out of nowhere. So, and that's why I'm glad you popped on, because I just wanted to. I'm trying my best. I hit up 7Cs. I'm trying to. What I'm trying to do is get ahead of this and get a flyer together through people. I don't have a computer. I have a phone, and I'm moving out, like I said, at the end of the month, hopefully. So I'm just trying to get all the smart brains like yourself together, and I'm writing down the notes what we think should be on the flyer to wake people up in Texas to how serious the digital ID is, and like, the fact that it's coming down the pike, because people like Amanda and Cookie are already going to meet with that one. There's only one Republican who voted against it. God bless them. They're going to meet with him. And we've talked to Maddie Wack, who's given us the blueprint for our Second Amendment rights, which is obviously the Bunny Ranch we know about, which is the Michigan State House in 2020. They tried to pass more draconian lockdown laws that cunt Gretchen Whitmer, and 2,000 militiamen showed up, not calling for anything, just like Maddie says, as an armed show of force with their ARs. And what happened? The law got voted down and did not get passed, and they did not get locked down further. And then Maddie was there, and a bunch of people, like 50,000 people, Alex Jones' son and them, were there in Virginia in 2021 when Biden administration tried to pass more Second Amendment laws, or Second Amendment violations, and 50,000 or so militiamen showed up armed again. And Maddie, which is awesome, he was on earlier, but he's fighting cancer, so he's got to go do treatment. He said he'll pop back on. Every sheriff in the state of Virginia, besides one, stood with them and said, if you legislatures pass this, we will not enforce it. So this is where we stand. So we're trying to find a mixture of that blend, and we already have people like my guy William, who's down in the audience, whose son just got in a car accident, who's another elderly man, just like or older, and Cookie and Amanda are on the older side. They call themselves grannies, but they're not. And he's in Missouri. He said he's already got a sign. He's ready to drive down to Texas at any time. So I'm trying to get ahead of this, and I'm a step-by-step guy, and I want to get a flyer first. Godfrey's going to have a space Tuesday night. They hopefully can finalize that and then get a flyer, good to go, a legitimate flyer, like we said, that's not too quote unquote conspiratorial, but warns people. We'll have numbers on there for state legislators to call, possibly a meetup date or something in Texas. We're trying to figure it all out and iron out the details. This is the third space doing this, basically the second one. The other one was short the other day. And yeah, just again, I'm honored that someone like yourself is up here, because we need all brains in this possible, and in whatever people think should go on the flyer or whatever, to warn people about what's to
And
come, what they're going to lose, and all this stuff. So yeah,
if I
that's
could, real quick,
yeah. Go ahead, brother.
'cause I got to step away for a second, but
Yep.
Dorian, I love your work. I watch your
mode.
shows. You're a champion in this. And I DM'd you a nugget from Ryan Sikorsky you might want to look into about the unvaccinated, what they plan to do with us unvaccinated people. Pretty
Oh,
interesting
okay.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I just was communicating with Ryan the other day. I'm gonna try to have just him on so we can talk about stuff. But I
Yeah,
appreciate you, bud.
absolutely.
You're the man.
Oh, appreciate you. I mean, dude, you interview the most important people moving forward in the next few years in our time. Heroines and heroes that are trying to stop this technocracy, trying to make people aware, to give them a choice. And there needs to be more people like you out there with platforms to
Yep.
discuss these issues. And digital ID is the red line. That's behind enemy lines right there. I mean,
Right.
and that begins everything that we talk
Talk
about.
about, like you
Digital
just said, Mud,
bioconvergence, medical
vaccines.
4.0, human 2.0, the
Yes.
tokenization of
You
everything,
don't take your new
cryptocurrency,
mRNA
it
vaccine,
all
your
ties
digital
into
ID
digital
kicks
ID.
you out.
Yeah,
All
they're
of
gonna
it.
tie. They're tying this all to healthcare right now. From my understanding, healthcare 4.0, whatever they're calling it, but the digital ID or the digital twins, telehealth, all that stuff as it expands rapidly. I mean, you're literally going to be having like frequency medications given to you by doctors and stuff.
RFK said everyone will be wearing wearables by
That
2028.
yep, that's another step that has been covered.
And people
Sabrina
still
will
want to
be
say,
on.
RFK, you made a meanie face behind Albert Bourla. Did you see his fucking face that he made? Yeah. Did you see him shake his fucking hand? But I don't want to go off again. So sorry, keep going.
Yeah, well, people can look into that guy's first wife and what happened to her.
You mean when he
Right?
dug her up and moved her across the cemetery or whatever?
He
Or
might have
maybe
also
more?
he might have also been the one that put her there or
Oh,
part of
shit.
that. So whatever it is on that. But anyways, yes, it's going to be tied to healthcare 4.0. It's already going on, so that's what people need to know. It's been going on for a long time. They're just perfecting it. COVID was another stage of perfecting it and pushing people's fear towards it so that they would accept it more easily. I didn't realize it was going to happen so fast. And in a state like Texas, I could see like California or something like that being the pilot state.
Exactly.
They try to roll this out, but fucking Texas, are you serious? I know there's a lot of liberal bullshit going on in the cities. Houston and Dallas and all these fucking cities are taken over by a lot of liberal-minded people, but fucking Texas, at least they have their guns. Maybe that's the
Yep.
test, because they'll see if they can get it passed. If they can get it passed in a state like that, maybe
Bingo.
that would it would just flood the entire United States instantly. So I'm glad that you're on top of that. But I'll be asking Sabrina about that. She'll be on Tuesday. I'll see what her and non-vaxxer are saying about that. But if anybody doesn't know, Sabrina's ex at synergy_SDW. I'll say it one more time. But if you want to follow her, and then there's the Ryan Sikorsky, like Mud brought up, you can find him just searching that. But Sabrina Wallace kind of spearheads this whole thing. It's at Synergy, PSINERGY _ uppercase S, uppercase D as in dog, and uppercase W. And that's how you can find her on X. And then non-vaxxer 420 is at I'm back bitches 45.
All
I'm
right,
back
nice. I'm already
bitches
following
45 because he's
her.
lost so many accounts that it's ridiculous.
I'm already
And
following
he's a
her.
warrior.
Okay, that's good to know that that's her.
Yeah.
What was the second one? At un.
Are you talking about non-vaxxer? I'm back bitches 45. And that's non-vaxxer 420. You can find him on Rumble, non-vaxxer 420. He's got an extensive fucking library. So if you go on Rumble, like a lot of people don't know, and you want to search something like digital twin or healthcare 4.0 or any of this digital ID stuff, you can just put in non-vaxxer 420 space and then whatever you want to search, and it'll pull up his videos, or go onto his site and search that stuff. But you can search he's got like a library like none other. Like it's overwhelming how much information is on there, but it's more of a library. So when you want to find something, you can find it there. That's the best source for finding a lot of information. If people don't know about digital twins and how they're under our skin and they've been connecting to people. I mean, people remember seeing those videos of people like spinning around looking like they're
Yeah, dude.
Yes, there's that, and then people getting fried by their cell phones when they're like that chick that died when she was just getting her nails did.
Yeah, and then Tiffany Dover, who just died fucking taking the vaccine on stage, and then they just said, oh, everything's fine. Dude,
Yeah,
I forgot about this death spiral. That shit was crazy.
yeah, the death spiral, and then the I mean, they used to use like what we hear in the conspiracy spaces as a heart attack gun. Fuck, they don't need that shit anymore, bro. They can fly a drone over you too, and they can target you. So say you're
Yep.
out in a remote location, like you live up in the mountains, like I'm safer up here. Fuck you, no, you're not. There'd be a drone up in the sky that you can't even hear and you can't even fucking see, and that thing will fucking help target you if it needs to. With a
Yes. That's what
satellite,
scares the fuck out
Starlink.
of me, man. Yeah. I've posted about it recently because they're doing it in Palestine. Like you said, obviously they're testing it. Mud, I sent to a co-host. They're obviously testing it there, and one thing that freaks the shit out of me is they're doing it to lure Palestinians out. They're having a drone emit a crying baby noise, so it's literally a baby crying, and the noise of that. And I've told people, like, now imagine in Palestinians go out and try to find the baby and they get fucking killed by MQ-9 Reaper drone. And now I said, now imagine, you have a bad Palantir credit score because you're a meanie and you won't get your new quote unquote vaccines. I call them quote unquote because they're not. They're obviously gene, they call them therapy, but that's nice gene fucking altering editing. But you don't get your new vaccine, or you're anti-Semitic or this and that. You're against the Trump administration or against Trump the dictator in his third term, Steve Bannon telling everybody. But and you're sitting on your back porch or something and you're having drinks with your buddies, and again you have a bad Palantir credit score. They already have 2 to 3 million Americans on a kill list, by the way, people, in case you don't know. And again, Alex Karp has said to sales and to people trying to, he wants to invest in the company, yeah, we'll intimidate anyone we need to, and we'll kill anyone we need to. And I have the video, I'll throw it up in the nest, to keep Palantir alive. And that was the sales pitch to people. And then he said his dream is spraying his enemies with fentanyl urine-laced drones because he's a Jewish communist and his parents were in the Bolshevik Revolution, NKVD. But that being said, if you have a bad score and you're sitting in your backyard having whatever drinks or whatever, and all of a sudden you hear a fucking baby crying in the middle of the woods, you're going to go, obviously, and say, holy shit, there's a baby in the woods. Let me go fucking save the baby. And then you're not going to hear the fucking MQ-9 Reaper drone 50,000 feet up in the air. And the rest is, I think people understand the rest. They'll pick you up and they'll bring you in to Guantanamo, and they'll show you that Hillary and Obama and Fauci are arrested and that the plan worked and everything's good to go and Trump saved us. No kidding, you'll be struck by a Hellfire missile and you'll be dead, and nobody will really know for the most part. And if people think I'm joking, I'm not. It's what they're, like Dorian said, what they're testing in Palestine. They're just perfecting it there. The digital twin linking up to your obviously your aura field, to your genome, so that's why they can track what, that's why they call it Where's Daddy. The program, a lot of their shit like Tiberius, Where's Daddy, Stargate, Warp Speed, all these things, like they tell you in the name. Palantir itself, and people don't even know. I talked about in True Teller Space last night. Like, people don't even know that they already targeted Americans and killed my grandparents. They've killed, probably, like I said, everyone here probably has 2-3 degrees at most separation of someone that's died from the quote unquote vaccine. They've already targeted and killed Americans through Tiberius. Tiberius, I'll throw it up in Nest, was a program that they used to track people in America before the pandemic went out. They had it. They had it with. They partnered up with Epic. It's in my notes right here, and they basically gave everybody a credit score, or whatever, a mini score or whatever, and they tracked who you were. And I don't know how they based that credit score thing. It's going up in the nest right now from this awesome girl who's a great whistleblower. She's an absolute hero. I don't know exactly how they track people, but they did. They gave everybody a score, and then they turned around and sent hot lots, aka quote unquote vaccines with more mRNA to your region. And they also sent, there it is, it's going up in the nest now. like she says, whistleblower and former medical coder Zoe describes how Palantir program has been used to determine who deserved a COVID vaccine, a ventilator, and / or remdesivir. Palantir assigned a risk score to people, and that's how they determined where do they send the vax, where do they send the ventilators, and where do they send the remdesivir. And that's a clip from her, and she's a whistleblower. She's an absolute hero. And they targeted red states, targeted Republicans, obviously, and people like my grandparents, because I think Dr. Jack Cruz is right. At the end of the day, I think part of the pandemic was to taper the Ponzi scheme of Social Security. So they targeted certain people, and they've already targeted your loved ones, people in here. And Tisha, God bless her. Tisha's up here, and we'll go to her in a second, and in a little bit here. And I mean, God bless her. She lost her sister, and I think her other sister is still fighting from the vaccine. And this is why I go on these fucking rants. This is why I am going to name the enemy, who is Donald J. Trump. There's no ifs, ands, ors about it when he's said 4 times since he's been in that it's the greatest thing ever and it saved tens of millions of lives, and he's sucking Albert Bourla's fucking cock and Bill Gates' cock and Zuckerberg, and we're about to overthrow Maduro because he helped steal the 2020 election. Okay, he didn't, but Trump can have dinner with 33, of course, 33 tech people a month ago, and Zuckerberg can sit there. He helped actually overthrow the election. But who cares anymore because Trump's in charge, and again, it's better than Kamala. But with that being said, number one, I'm glad that you, and please do, Dorian, please take that rant. I would be honored. Honestly, I would be absolutely honored, my man. Put it wherever and please send it to me. I literally would be honored. I've always been, once I get settled in my new place, I'm going to try to save up, get a computer, a laptop or something so I can record shit and do more than also give myself cancer, unfortunately. So I hope everybody appreciates it. Obviously, I'm joking, but not joking, because Ryan Skorsky was on here last week, and Ryan was like, my phone's on 4%, so I got to go. I'm going to charge it real quick, and then I'll be back, and I'll hop back on. He's like, I hate charging my phone in my hand. Like, it's terrible. Like, it gives you cancer or whatever. I'm like, great. I do that about 65 times during a space, so that's fantastic for about 100 spaces. But it is what it is. But yeah, and I would love to come on one of your things at some time and shoot the shit with you or Ryan or whoever and talk about whatever. And also one thing, since you have access to Sabrina, I don't know if you could do us all a favor, including myself, I guess, if you could just ask her maybe if she could put together like a flyer herself, what she thinks should be on it, because she's literally the smartest one out of all of us. And I'm sure she wouldn't mind doing that, like what she thinks should be on a flyer herself. And just, I mean, I'll probably just take that one. But if you wouldn't mind at least hopefully asking, that would be awesome. I mean, she's the number one person I would want to go to.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely bring it up and ask her. And she keeps crazy hours. I think she's sleeping right now. I'll get a hold of her when I talk to her.
Oh, no rush,
and,
no rush at all.
I'll let her know about this. I haven't even talked to her about this because she's been getting attacked like fucking crazy lately, like epic attacks. So they're coming after her.
Really? By like government entities or by?
I think that behind it, but it would be I won't say the name yet because I'm gonna go and troll the shit out of it a little bit right now. But oh god, what was the name?
Probably by people similar to the faggots that went after Escanor when he was
Well,
exploding.
she does like to draw. She draws so many different ways to know about this bioconvergence and telecommunication. She'd be a perfect person to address this digital ID thing.
Yeah, there's some people that they're not as big of a name, so a lot of people probably wouldn't know them. So it's like a wrestling of me of trying to figure out if I'm promoting them by even saying their name or what, that kind of a thing. I'll say one of them. Have you guys ever heard of Hope Girl?
I believe so. I believe so.
She also doxed Amazing Polly. And so that crazy bitch is connected to some shit. And she came out and doxed the shit out of non-vaxxer and Sabrina. And it was just like, it's...
Did you say Hope Girl?
Girl, yeah. She's kind of a big, chubby blonde.
She sounds like my evil twin, doesn't she? She's like the Escanor's evil twin.
Hope Girl. So she's special.
She's like the opposite of me.
Oh, she's the opposite. Okay, I got you. I was saying evil twin in a good way, a bad way. I got you.
Yeah, she's fucking nuts. Anyways, it stems from that, but then there's also other players that I won't name right now. Like I said, I'm gonna troll the shit out of some of them.
No, no worries. I don't.
But it goes all the way to so the guy that doxed me, he goes by Script Keeper. He's a big Q-tard. Tisha knows Script Keeper, I'm sure. She's seen him around. He was hovering around the MG show, and apparently he's fighting those guys. Always Q-tards or whatever are getting even more retarded. It's kind of funny to see. But I guess he's a part of it. And the Scott McMahon guy, if you ever heard of him. So I'll name a couple of them. But anyways, there's a couple of them that I'm missing.
I love it. You're like me. I always do that too. Yeah, and then name you should go rattle off a couple.
Yeah, because when
Hey,
people say that
fuck
shit and
it.
then they don't name anything, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
are they truthful? It's like, yeah, I know I got fucking targets, and so you got some of the targets that I'm fucking aiming at, and I haven't been quiet.
And
yet.
if you're coming at Sabrina, then you fucking deserve to be fucking called out. Just
Exactly.
like I was pissed off when these faggots came in Escanor, and like Escanor said, it wasn't the Democrats, it was these MAGA Q-tards who profess to care about the children. They're calling him a pedophile, and they summoned Liz Crokin from hell in that one space when they're all ganging up on him, literally fucking summoned her and Lady Gaga from hell, and then said, "Oh, Sir Escobar, you're gonna get deported," blah blah blah, all this shit. And it's like, you fucking faggot traitors. You got, again, these tech bros, Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, these fucking Netanyahu Jews. We know who they are. They're the enemy. But these people that act like you're on your side, then they report you. It's I can't forgive it. I can't forgive it. Never mind, they pushed General Flynn. He's a great guy. How many more times? I'm gonna blow my head off if I see another fucking video on my timeline that has someone breaking the glass and saying, "Time to break General Flynn out of the glass." Good lord.
Yeah, well, wasn't it Sir Escanor? Was it you that found that? I think it was Patriot Storm 17 or some shit. He was saying on its face.
Yeah, Parrot Storm.
Parrot
Yeah,
Storm.
I
Yeah.
caught him fucking saying that he's a paid shill. I caught him red-handed admitting that he's a paid shill, that he got promoted by he doesn't know who. He's paid by he
It's
doesn't
Flynn!
fucking know who to say he doesn't know what and to stroke fucking beta warrior off all day like
Yes.
a faggot. I'm gonna anyway. One thing at a time,
Right.
guys.
Well, Alpha is a Flinster. He's all Flynn all fucking day. And so if that's the case, then Patriot Storm 17 now, or whatever his name is he's Flynn now. I mean, he has been, I guess. I didn't know. I don't know much about it.
Escanor, can you find that Patriot Storm or Parrot Storm meme that you have and throw it up in the nest where it's like, someone hold my beak open while Trump fucks me?
Oh yeah. That's what's hilarious. Oh yeah, somebody hold my dick while Trump fucks my mouth, right? Or something like that.
All I know is that you got to be a badass motherfucker like yourself and have some and do damn good work for Truth Teller to be like, and Truth gives people credit, but Truth's like, he said it in spaces to you, and when you're not there, he's like, I've taken a lot of Escanor's memes, and I credit him. Obviously, he's like, he makes some of the best memes and stuff out there. I'm like, damn, that's some high praise. Yeah, throw that one up in the nest. That's where that shit was so fucking funny.
Yeah, look for it. That shit's hilarious, bro.
Oh god.
Yo, I just want to see something really quick on RFK because I have a lot of threads on this.
Oh, I
fucker,
got your DM.
and
I
could say
forgot.
something.
You guys are shitting on RFK, but
What
he's a
DM?
good guy. I don't know why. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
right.
Oh man. The whole fucking Kennedy families from the bloodline of Cain, they make me all fucking sick to my stomach. All of them, including fucking John, including fucking all of them. They're all garbage, guys. Every single one, complete garbage. But let's talk about RFK Jr. I can't even listen to the guy talk the way he stutters, the way I just want to uppercut him. I can't even 2 seconds. I lose my fucking mind. But his ex-wife, right, Mary Richardson Kennedy. Listen to this shit. She said, "I do" on April 15th, 1994. Exactly 6,066 days later, which was May 16th, 2012, she died by way of suicide. Exactly 6,066 days after saying "I do." Now, June 12th, 2012, her body was exhumed, which is basically a month later, and it was moved from its original burial site with the Kennedys to an off-site exactly 700 feet away. Now listen to where it gets fucking nuts.
It's not nuts
RFK
yet.
Jr. was born. Yeah, it's not. Listen to this shit. So I'm gonna repeat. She said, "I do." 6,066 days later, she's dead. They bury her a month later after the burial. 28 days later, specifically, which is funny. It goes to the movie. 28 days later, they move her body. They exhume it 700 feet. Now listen to this shit. RFK Jr. was born January 12th, 1954. That week where they exhumed and moved her body 700 feet was his 700th month of life as well.
Bro.
What are the odds of all that, bro?
Bro.
Bro, what are the odds of everything I just fucking said to align? This is a ritual, guys. He paid his rite of passage. The same way Erica Kirk did, the same way Donald Trump did, the same way they all fucking do. They pay it with blood and ritual. All of them.
Amazing work, Sir Escanor.
Yes,
You are a champion. You're a warrior for light in this whole movement. I mean, you expose these hopium liars and breakneck pace, and I cannot thank you enough for what you do. We need people like you in this fight, my friend.
Yep. Yeah, like I said earlier, we need people like him and my guy Observer now, who I met through listening to Ian Space, and again, badass dudes that sit in the shadows and do very important stuff. And people like Escanor, who's similar to Maddie, where they push the envelope in certain ways, which is what we need in good ways. And that's why it was so fucking funny. Like I said, Adam Media, I don't know him that well. I sent him DM to come in today, but I don't know him that well. But he's up there, and he was actually right. He was spitting facts, so to say. And then Ian was like, "Did you hear him, Escanor?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, he's right, and he seems to be one of the only ones with over 100,000 followers that's not a complete piece of shit scumbag." And Ian's spot on. Ian's like, "That's like the nicest thing," and that's like Escanor's way of complimenting people. But it
It's as good as it's gonna get,
yeah,
right?
exactly. No, I know. And then afterwards, I remember people were like, what, laughing, whatever. You're like, what the? I'm fucking real, motherfucker. Enough is enough. And then people were in the comments, you say fuck every other word. It's like, you know what? Well, hey, then you guys put it. And then people the next day, like I was saying, are so ungrateful. It's unbelievable. You left this person off. You did this and that, blah, 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 all this stuff. It's like, bro, you put all this together and do all the work that you had to do for that and connect all the dots that you did in an incredible way from Bergam to pedophilia, basically to again, and Trump's the fucking Secretary of Interior, to all this shit. And like you said, what with the wellness company in Bergam and that stuff, you're basically working for Pfizer or Bill Gates. I think you said, right?
Yeah, dude. You know what's funny? So look, I'll tell you what I like the best about that space and why I'm better than most people, right? And I'm gonna say this again as a pro tip, because I said it during the space and nobody fucking listened. I said you always leave silver bullets in the
Yep.
chamber. Why? Because when you expose these fucking assholes, they're paid to go on damage control. They will go on damage control instantly. So what you have to know is they will do that. And the second they do that, that's when you fire your silver bullets.
Hell
So
yeah,
what they did is
Escanor.
they came out,
I, I
no shit,
I learned
and
from
sorry, you
you.
need
I have some silver bullets in my pocket as well that I'm keeping.
good. So always keep them. And I'll tell you why. And it played out perfectly because then all these fucking paid shills come out to defend Badlands Media. And during the X Space, I said, listen, guys, you could completely remove any one of the connections I made to any one of these entities. You could completely move Fitch and Eric from NAG Network Access Group. You could completely remove Bergam from Badlands, and I still have enough ammo to fucking destroy them. And what I did afterwards is I proved how the first and second biggest endorsements of Badland Media. Their first in-person event was fully sponsored by Furman Generators, which is the directly linked CCP company. Badlands Media, listen to my words, was their money, the fuel that injected, that powered them, was Chinese money, motherfuckers. And that's a fact. And I proved it again and again. So they could come out and defend whatever the fuck they want. I have a silver bullet for every one of these faggots. And I'm just waiting. So another pro tip right there.
Escanor, I have a question real quick. Which bank did it come from in China?
If he knows that, I'd be super impressed.
Because,
I'll find out.
I'll find out.
I have the
because
whole
the
link of,
reason the
Oh,
reason
that's
why I
actually
ask is
important.
because if it's Hong Kong, Shanghai, then it was Jewish.
oh, for sure it's Jewish. What are you crazy? I don't even need to look at that to know it's fucking Jewish. If obviously it's Jewish,
But
that goes
so
without saying.
you're saying, just to back up, you're saying that money that came from China is going through Doug Burgum and stuff to the Trump administration.
No, not even. No, has nothing to do with Bergam either.
Oh, okay.
This is a completely separate connection that has nothing to do with Bergam, which is just as dirty. And
Does that
that's
have
why I
anything to
like
do
it.
with the
That's why I
Trump
kept it in the
administration?
chamber.
No.
How can it not? China, China, China. You know, how did I name that thread? Badlands, your secret is safe
Yeah.
with
Yep.
Chi, right?
Yeah. So they're professing to be against China
So
while taking
funny.
Chinese money. Like Susie Wiles has a bunch of
And I'm
investments.
funnier than them. That's why they'll never win either. I'm funnier than them. I'm better than them, bro. Just sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yo, can I please ask
Yep.
Escanor a question?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Escanor, I ask you this every time I see you. Why is Trump the Antichrist?
I'm not doing that, bro. I told you grab some balls, read my fucking pinned tweet, Be a man. Don't cry about it. Then we'll have a
I read
conversation.
your
If
pin
you're gonna
tweet.
cry because you can't read it, you didn't read
I
fuck
read
all. I don't want to
I
hear
read
nothing.